Movie overview. Ungentlemanly War is a war action movie set in World War II. It is directed by director Guy Ritchie. It is based on real, historical events and tells the story of a special operations team composed of highly skilled soldiers. The story of an executive officer on a mission during the war. By telling the activities of this secret organization, the film shows their courage, wisdom and perseverance in the war, as well as their impact on the course of the war. This movie is not only a war movie full of action scenes, but also a reproduction and discussion of historical events, showing the efforts and sacrifices made by Britain during World War II. Introducing the topic, revealing the secret British World War II organization. One of the core themes of this film is to reveal the activities of British clandestine organizations during World War II and explore the key role they played in the war. During World War II, the British government established many secret organizations to deal with the threat of Nazi Germany, and the Special Operations Executive was one of them. This special operations team is composed of a group of highly skilled soldiers who perform missions that often go beyond the scope of conventional military operations and use unconventional means to confront the enemy. By revealing the existence and activities of this clandestine organization, we can gain a deeper understanding of British war strategy and actions during World War II. Movie background. Britain during World War II. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly War is set in Britain during World War II, a time of great tension and fear. Nazi Germany's military power was raging across Europe, and Hitler's ambitions plunged the entire continent into war. Britain became the last bastion against Nazi aggression, and the shadow of war loomed over the entire country. Under this circumstance, the British government established various special forces and secret organizations to deal with the Nazi threat, including the Special Operations Executive, against which the main story of the film unfolds. Main character introduction. The Special Operations Executive was a covert operations team composed of highly skilled soldiers who performed many key missions during World War II and played an important role in Britain's victory in the war. Key characters include Captain John Smith, technical expert David Jones, demolition expert Emily Harper, intelligence analyst Michael Davies, and medical paramedic Lily Anderson and others. Each character has their own unique skills and background, and together they form a fearless and professional fighting team fighting to keep the country safe. Focus on war missions and action plots. In the movie, members of the Special Operations Executive received a series of dangerous and critical missions. These missions often involve conducting espionage operations deep behind enemy lines, destroying important enemy facilities, collecting intelligence, etc. They experience thrilling battles and life and death tests, showing outstanding courage and wisdom. For example, in one mission, they lurked deep into enemy-occupied areas and successfully destroyed the Nazi military industrial base and blocked the enemy's offensive plan. In another mission, they risked their lives and successfully rescued a captured British pilot. Frustrated enemy espionage. These war missions and action plots not only show the bravery and determination of the Special Operations Executive officers, but also vividly reproduce the thrilling war scenes during World War II, allowing the audience to immerse themselves in the bitterness and passion of those difficult years. Film style analysis. Guy Ritchie's directing style. Guy Ritchie is a director known for his dark humor and action scenes. His films are often full of exciting plots and humorous dialogues. In Ministry of Ungentlemanly War, his directorial style is on full display. He is good at using fast editing and dynamic photography to create a tense and exciting atmosphere, making the audience feel the cruelty and danger of war immersively. At the same time, he is also good at using various visual effects and stunts to present the shock and thrill of action scenes, making the whole movie full of tension and excitement. In addition, Guy Ritchie is also good at using non-linear narrative techniques and reverse endings to increase the suspense and attraction of the movie, keeping the audience with a high sense of tension and excitement throughout the movie watching process. Use of black humor elements. Guy Ritchie's films are famous for his unique black humor style. He is good at interspersing tense and exciting plots with humorous dialogue and plots, giving the audience a unique movie watching experience. In the Ministry of Ungentlemanly War, the use of black humor elements is no exception. For example, members of the Special Operations Executive often display humorous dialogues and behaviors during missions, which not only fills the entire movie with a tense and exciting atmosphere, but also increases the audience's laughter and emotional resonance. The use of this kind of black humor not only adds a special charm to the movie, but also makes the movie more vivid and interesting, allowing the audience to feel the cruelty and tension of war while enjoying the humorous style while watching the movie. Fun and emotionally resonant. The intersection of violence and strategy. Ungentlemanly War is a war movie full of violence and strategy. It subtly interweaves violence and strategy, showing the courage, wisdom and perseverance displayed by members of the Special Operations Executive in the war. In the movie, members of the Special Operations Executive not only have to face fierce attacks and brutal abuse from the enemy, but also use various strategies and means to fight against the enemy and protect the security of the country. They often need to make difficult decisions under extreme circumstances and make huge sacrifices. At the same time, the movie also shows the various difficulties and challenges experienced by members of the Special Operations Executive in the war through wonderful action scenes and fierce battle scenes, allowing the audience to deeply understand the cruelty and danger of war. This intertwining of violence and strategy not only adds a tense and exciting atmosphere to the movie, but also makes the movie more real and fascinating, allowing the audience to feel the cruelty and danger of war while watching the movie. Background to the true story. During World War II, the British government established a number of secret organizations and special forces to deal with the threat from Nazi Germany. These secret organizations and special forces are often composed of well-trained agents and soldiers who perform various secret missions, including espionage operations, intelligence gathering, etc. Among them, one of the most well-known organizations is the Special Operations Executive, or SOE Special Operations Executive. So was established in 1940 as one of the British wartime intelligence agencies. It was mainly responsible for carrying out covert operations, instigating resistance movements and supporting underground resistance organizations. The establishment of SOE marked the British government's emphasis on and understanding of unconventional warfare, and also played a key role in the British victory in the war. The role of the Special Operations Executive in the war. The Special Operations Executive is a special forces unit under the British Wartime Intelligence Agency SOE. It is mainly responsible for carrying out covert operations, instigating resistance movements and supporting underground resistance organizations. During World War II, Special Operations Executives played an important role in the war effort, performing many key missions that contributed to Britain's victory in the war. Members of the Special Operations Executive often go deep into enemy-occupied areas to perform espionage operations, collect intelligence, destroy important enemy facilities, support underground resistance organizations, etc. Their courage and wisdom helped the British government attack Nazi Germany's war machine and defeat the enemy. The offensive plan ultimately made an important contribution to the Allied victory. The role of Special Operations Executives in the war lay not only in the execution of the mission itself, but also in their influence and contribution to the war process. Their presence and actions enabled the United Kingdom to maintain strong combat effectiveness and resistance during the war, and ultimately achieved victory. Comparison between plot and real history. In Ungentlemanly War, members of the Special Operations Executive carry out a series of war missions. Although these missions are fictional, many plots and events correspond to real historical events. For example, in the movie, Special Operations Executives carried out espionage operations deep behind enemy lines, destroying the enemy's military industrial base and blocking the enemy's offensive plan. They also rescued captured British pilots and thwarted the enemy's espionage activities. Although these plots and events are fictional, they are similar to real historical events and can reflect the activities and role of British secret organizations during World War II. Although the Ministry of Ungentlemanly War depicts the activities of Britain's Special Operations Executive during World War II, there are a number of omissions and exaggerations in the presentation of these clandestine organizations. The film may have focused too much on the action scenes and combat plots, while neglecting other aspects of the British secret organization, such as intelligence gathering, underground resistance movements, etc. Additionally, the film may have exaggerated the role and impact of special operations executives, making them appear more heroic and omnipotent. Therefore, viewers need to be rational when watching the movie and not over-exaggerate the plots and events shown in the movie. As far as the overall narrative is concerned, the Department of Ungentlemanly War shows war missions and the activities of special operations executives. Although there are some exaggerated and fictional plots, it is generally relatively real and close to historical facts. Based on real historical events, the film fictionalizes a series of war missions and action plots, making the story more vivid and fascinating. Despite this, viewers still need to keep in mind that the film is a fictional drama, and the plots and events in it may not be completely consistent with real history. Therefore, they need to maintain a rational and objective attitude when watching, and do not blindly accept what is presented in the film. All content, production level and audiovisual effects. The film's cinematography and set design. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly War displays excellent production standards in terms of cinematography and set design. Through precise lens use and beautiful composition, the photographer combines the cruelty and desolation of war with the tranquility and beauty of the British countryside, presenting a true and fascinating picture. In terms of scene design, the film carefully created British rural and urban scenes during World War II, and reproduced the social environment and living atmosphere at that time through realistic sets and props. Each scene is carefully designed to make the audience feel as if they have traveled through time and space, being at the scene during World War II, and feeling the atmosphere and situation at that time. Use of soundtrack and sound effects. The film's soundtrack and sound effects are properly used to create a tense and exciting atmosphere for the audience. The soundtrack uses appropriate musical works, which can not only highlight the tension and intensity of the war scenes, but also enhance the emotion and atmosphere. In terms of sound effects, the film uses realistic sound effects design, allowing the audience to hear the sounds of gunfire, explosions and other unique sounds of war, which enhances the realism and shock of the war scenes. The precise use of soundtrack and sound effects allows the audience to be more deeply immersed in the world of the movie and feel the cruelty and tension of war. Production of stunts and action scenes. Ungentlemanly War does an excellent job in the production of stunts and action scenes, showing exciting battle and action scenes. The film uses advanced stunt technology and visual effects to present realistic war scenes and thrilling action scenes. Especially in the battle and chase scenes, the film uses carefully designed stunts and action layouts to make the battle scenes more realistic and shocking, allowing the audience to feel the cruelty and tension of war immersively. At the same time, the film also uses fast editing and dynamic shots to enhance the tension and visual impact of the action scenes, making the entire film full of movement and vitality. The wonderful production of stunts and action scenes adds a lot of attraction and viewing value to the film, allowing the audience to enjoy the visual feast and action excitement. Summary and evaluation. Overall review of the film. Ungentlemanly War is a war movie worth watching. It combines real historical events with fictional drama to show the activities and role of the British Special Operations Executive during World War II. Through the exciting plot, wonderful action scenes and excellent production level, the film presents the audience with a real and shocking picture of the war, allowing the audience to deeply understand the cruelty and desolation of the war, and at the same time feel the British people's struggle in the war, heroism and tenacity in war. Although the film has some exaggerated and fictional plots in its narrative, overall it is still an excellent war movie full of passion and touching, and worth watching. Evaluation of the director and actors. Director Guy Ritchie demonstrated outstanding directorial talent in Ungentlemanly War. Through superb director skills and keen observation, he successfully combined real history with fictional plots to present a true and touching war movie. His outstanding performance makes the film more watchable and attractive. At the same time, the cast of the film is also very exciting. The outstanding performances of actors such as Henry Cavill in the film added a lot of highlights to the film. They successfully presented the characters to life in front of the audience and won unanimous praise from the audience. Understanding and reflection on the British secret organization of World War II. By watching Ungentlemanly War Department, the audience can not only understand the activities and role of the British Special Operations Executive during World War II, but also have a deeper understanding of the British secret organization of World War II. And understanding The establishment and activities of the Special Operations Executive reflect the British government's emphasis on an understanding of unconventional warfare, and also demonstrate the bravery and perseverance of the British people in war. By reflecting on the history of British World War II secret organizations, we can more deeply understand the cruelty and desolation of war, as well as the bravery and tenacity displayed by human beings in the face of war. At the same time, we should also reflect on the pain and harm caused by war, strive to maintain peace and tranquility, and jointly create a peaceful world. In short, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly War is an impressive war movie that shows the audience the British secret organizational activities during World War II through the reproduction of real historical events. The film is not only a war film with rich action scenes, but also a restoration and exploration of historical events, presenting to the audience the difficult and heroic struggle of Britain during World War II. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly War has won unanimous praise from the audience through its exciting plot, wonderful actor performances, and excellent production level. It is a masterpiece of war movies worth watching.